Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Game Jam Quickplay. Now this time we're finally going to move on past Global Game Jam 2017 and we're going to move on to a little thing called Ludum Dare. Perhaps you heard of it. It's only the biggest internet-based game jam. But I digressed. In between the main Ludum Dares, they have mini Ludum Dares. And this was an entry to the 73rd one. And yeah, I decided to collaborate with a good friend of mine, Aqua, also known as Aqua Blue, and what he did was he came up with the concept for this game, as well as most of the art assets. So everything you see in this game, other than the background and like the UI text stuff, most of it is his work. And all the birds that you're gonna see in this game, they're all his work as well. I basically handled the actual programming and execution of the game, as well as trying my hand at the music, because the theme of Mini Ludum Dare 73 was music, and it's pretty. I thought it was a good jumping on point, because they were like encouraging you. Oh, if you've never done music before, here's a list of free resources. You can go try them out. Make a game and basically just put the music in yourself, So Mini Ludum Dares, normally, the themes are a little more loose and you have a lot more time. This one actually was open for like 2 months, so development wasn't quite as rushed as anything, although we did start pretty late. For this game, we took about 2 weeks, and we submitted the last day itself. Yeah, it's a little tight, but what are you gonna do? So, this game that we've created is called Tsubame Gaeshi, or Solo Return, and it's named for a swordsman technique created by the legendary Sasaki Kojiro. It's also romanized to like turning solo cut or something like that. It's so named because it was apparently a sword move that was so quick and so precise it could swat solos out of the air. Which incidentally is what we're doing here. So we've got our main character up there on the screen. He's Mr. Tori-san. That's a bit redundant. And he's a samurai in training. He uses his tail. And this is his training regime. So there are ethereal birds. Well, the birds are supposed to be like ethereal, they're not really there. They're just mystical little creatures. And you tap them with your sword to strike them out of the sky. That's Tsubame Gaeshi. But of course it's not that simple, because if you just had to drag yourself over to those birds, that'd be no fun at all, right? So why not I just start a round of Zen and demonstrate for you. Ooh, right off the bat. Do that, and there we go. Oh, I totally made like a ton of misses right off the bat. I'm sorry. Okay, let me talk about this game while I play it. So as you can see, we've got 3 colors, and you can switch between them with Q, W, and E. You can see the indicator on the right. So you can either go directly on top of the birds and hit them, or you can draw the trail and wait for the birds to hit it. So that's where the puzzle element comes in. You can see we've got a few different types of birds. This one's the sleepy bird. After 5 seconds he wakes up and he goes zooming away. So the arrow indicator shows you which direction he's gonna go. Then these are the regular birds, which will simply move in. That bird teleports. I'll let it do it. I'll let it do so to demonstrate. Oh boy, we got a whole bunch of birds coming in. So yeah, you can see that bird teleports. And then we'll see a couple other types of birds. This bird rotates, as you can see. One thing I should probably patch out is it counting as escape. This probably made no sense. Anyway, yeah. In Zen mode, as you can see, you basically play for survival until all the birds are gone. the difficulty is not gonna get any more difficult, so at any time you can just decide to, okay, we're done with it, and you can go. Or you can just play for survival and hope you don't miss. Yeah, that's the easy way to deal with the birds that are coming in. You could be a little more specific with your trail, I guess, which we'll try and do here. So for example, blue, blue, red, yellow, blue. There we got a whole bunch of birds coming in. Ooh, we're down to 9 misses. Can't be too careless. And those are the homing birds. They forgot names, by the way, but I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. I'll probably put it in the description or something. Okay, you've got a trail here. So you gotta put yellow and you gotta put red. Okay, we gotta put the trail now. Blue, blue, blue. There you go. And now we gotta do red, 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 blue, yellow. So that's where the strategy comes in. So you can go a little more precise by letting go of shift. And right now I'm holding the shift key. The shift key makes you dash twice as fast, basically. Although now that we've playtested it a little bit, yeah, most of the time you just hold shift all the way, which kind of defeats the purpose. So probably up the base speed next time round. So yeah, I'm saying so yeah a lot, but I'm just talking off the top of my head right now. This game took 2 weeks to develop, testing and coding and everything. We didn't have too much time to do everything that we wanted, but we worked on the basic mechanics first, and then basically coded 2 types of endless mode. One is this survival mode, and the other would be a dojo, which we're trying a little bit. These birds go really quickly, so you can quickly like take a lot of misses. Okay, red, 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 blue, 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 yellow. Yeah, we got all of them. And yeah, this was my first time trying out the music too. So Bosca Coil, C-E-O-I-L. I'm not sure how to use it. It was one of the free tools presented to us, and I've started learning to use that sequencer, and I made this little track, which I honestly think isn't that impressive. It's a little new agey, which I wasn't really expecting, but it does the job fine, I guess. And apparently some people like it, so hey, why not? Okay, I'll probably like let myself loose in a little bit, so I can talk about Dojo a little bit. And yeah, the sound effects as well. I made the sound effects in that same sequencer. And a little gimmick I tried to do is make the sound effects like harmonize with the music. By the way, the restart button's broken. I'm aware of it, but I'll probably send a hotfix for it right after this video. I just wanted to keep it in to play it as it was in vanilla when I submitted it in time for the game jam, you know? Right. Yeah, and going back to Zen, it doesn't work either because of the room persistence. Basically, I forgot to reset the room persistence when you hit the restart button, so you can't replay it, you have to close the game. But it's okay, it's an easy fix, I can patch it up real quick. And then we have Dojo. Dojo is sort of like a time attack mode. So basically you start at the first dan, and you have to get a certain amount of points, in this case 250, before the time runs out. You get time extensions every time you graduate a rank, and that also increases the spawn speed. It's the best we could do at a time for our limited amount of time available to us and resources and everything. So it's a very basic kind of game principle, you know, just increase the spawn speed for difficulty. That's your dynamic difficulty, basically. So the waves start spawning quicker, which you think might make it easier for you to like achieve your targets, but the thing is, the more birds escape, the lower your score goes. Successfully tagging a bird is worth 10 points, but letting a bird escape is minus 20. So you don't want to do that too much. Also, as you can see, if the bird's the wrong color, it will simply plow through your trail and like erase it. So you don't want it to do that too much. Also, the music's a little more intense, you know. try to remix the stuff a little bit, just to make things a little more interesting, you know. So it's right now I'm on second done, and the spawn speed's upped a little bit. So now I've got 2 waves on screen. I completely screwed that one up. Okay, blue, yellow. Things get a little hectic once it really starts going though. And then at that point, all semblance of strategy sort of goes out the window. As you can see, the spawn speed's really kicking up now. Mostly just draw trails and hope for the best after that. You can rapidly alternate between all 3 colors and you hope you get lucky. So that kind of goes against our original idea for the game concept, but it's the best we could do at the time with the limited resources and everything, you know. Incremental difficulty, endless modes, those are the simplest things you can do when you're making a proof of concept. Okay, gotta get rid of these because these guys will escape. So we're on 4th done right now, and as you can see, spawn speed's really kicking up. We've got 2 waves of homing. And it's getting a little harder to talk because now I gotta focus on so many birds coming in and coming out. I'm just gonna do the cheaper tactic, which is just alternate. But yeah, one of the long-term goal ideas we have for this is to make specific levels, and we control the spawns of the birds a little better. And with that, then we'll be able to like make actually proper puzzle levels, kind of like in an iOS game, if you think. If that helps. In fact, this game would go pretty well on mobile if I could figure out a way to port it and like adapt the controls for it. And if I had a proper game maker license and everything for exporting to mobile. And now we're at 6 done. And our target's 4,000. But you can see our time, we've gone over a minute, so we're fine, we're doing fine. As long as we don't let too many birds escape. As long as we're destroying more than more than twice of what we're letting escape, everything should be fine. So yeah, this game was really fun, pretty fun to work on, especially as working with someone else's assets. Because I didn't make these birds. These cute little animations, all done by Aqua. And he did a really good job of it, if I do say so myself. The animations look really smooth in play, and yeah, he worked to my specifications and everything, so everything was good. So now we've got about 2 minutes. I'm gonna stop playing for a little bit and just let the timer run out. You can get the 10 done, but it's basically just this, but even crazier, which I don't feel like doing. So I'm just gonna let the birds sort of play around on screen, and I'm gonna read his comments, because I also got to send some comments about the game and his process and like what he wanted to, if he had anything he wanted to say. So I'm just gonna be reading his words now, right? So this is from Aqua. It's my first time working on a game jam. Well, first time working on any game actually. Even though it wasn't a 2-day marathon thing like an actual game jam, not like my schedule could allow it with my day job and everything, I still think I've learned a lot. It's my first time doing spriting work in character design. It went pretty slow at the first when I was figuring out the best way to arrange the drawings and making sure they align properly, but I learned how to be fairly efficient at it towards the end, and found out how much of a lifesaver a square grid is too. Why birds though? When I first saw the theme for the MiniLD, the first thing that came to my mind was songbirds. I thought of them moving or colliding with some sort of rainbow line, sort of like a line you see in a rhythm game or guitar string. The idea grew from there, and Coro was the one who suggested the Japanese theme, and helped me with the different movement design as well. I'm pretty happy with the outcome of the characters overall. I absolutely love making cute characters come to life, and this gave me a chance to do it for real. Also, there is a huge swarm of those cute birds on screen right now. Goodness. They sort of form really nice little pretty patterns by themselves too, don't they? We're not really gonna be able to get to our next rank at this rate, but yeah, things are just really chaotic. But yeah, thanks Aqua for joining in and I see you had fun too. It's good. The most important thing in making games is always remember you're making it for fun. If you don't enjoy your own games, then I don't think you can make a good game if you don't enjoy it yourself, you know? Ultimately, most of us got into making games because we play a lot of games ourselves. We like games. They're fun. And making your own, well, that's just awesome, isn't it? You get the joy of creation and all that. So this is getting a little ridiculous right now. I'm just gonna quit back to menu. You can restart the game if you quit back to menu before it finishes up, but yeah, it's a bug. I'm gonna patch it out. So yeah, that's Tsubame Gaeshi. Just a little experiment kind of game. First time collaborating with someone else for a game jam game, and first time making music, first time working on everything, and it proved to be a really good experience for Ludum Dare 38, which I later joined in. I joined in for compo, which means you gotta make everything from scratch. That includes the music, and that's why I wanted to try this one out, get familiar with at least one program, get a little bit of practice in, so I could make something. And I think it turned out pretty well. Both this and my Ludum Dare 38 game, which I'll cover another time. But yeah, Tsubame Gaeshi. I'm probably planning to expand on it. We'll probably go for those full puzzle levels in the future. And who knows? Maybe we will port it to mobile devices if we can figure it out how. But yeah, for what it's worth, I really enjoyed working on this. I really like how it turned out. And I'd like to thank Aqua as well. I mean, he was a real sport. Worked pretty hard and everything. And yeah, if you want to try this game out, I'll put it in the description. By the time this thing goes up, the hotfix should be in. So that should at least cover the restart button being broken. And I'll probably up the base speed as well, so you don't need to be holding shift all the time. I'll just make it a single speed. And yeah, I guess that's about it. That's about all I have to say about this game. In the next episode, I'll probably be looking at the other mini Ludum Dare 73 games. I want to see what the others have done. And you know, I like to give some comments as well, you know? Everyone likes feedback. Yep, alright. Coro signing off.